Now, something that one of my viewers requested me to speak about, which has kind of been in the news these last couple days, is how data centers, specifically AI data centers, are increasing people's electric bills across the country. I just did a video the other day talking about how exorbitant the water bills in particular have been getting for people all across the nation. Seemingly, they're going up everywhere. Well, now you got to look out for the electric bill too, due to the AI data centers that are cropping up everywhere. So you have utility companies like American Electric Power and Encore in Texas that have received requests for almost 400 gigawatts of electricity. And I'm not an electrician, I have no idea how much electricity that is, but it sounds like a lot. But to put into perspective of how much that is, that's about half of the entire lower 48 states' peak demand on the hottest summer days. But many of these requests are speculative, and developers are filing with multiple utilities at once, leading to double or triple counting. The utility companies call these phantom data centers, which are projects that exist on paper but may never break ground. But the risk is if utilities overbuild power plants or transmission lines for demand that doesn't materialize, everyone else's bills go up. So essentially, you never want to have more infrastructure than you need to service the general area. And electricity prices in the US are already up about 5.5% year over year, outpacing inflation. And that's probably a generous estimate in some areas. And for a very long time in this country, electrical demands were kind of just flat. But since 2020, due to the rise of AI, the demand for electricity has been increasing by about 2% per year. And I didn't know this, but apparently a single generative AI search uses at least 10 times the power of a normal Google search. So every time you ask ChatGPT a question, even if it's a stupid question, you're using 10 times the power than if you would have just asked the same question to Google. Now, the demand for this power is rising the fastest in Texas and Northern Virginia, two of the world's largest data center hubs. Now, right now, it's estimated that only about 20% of the requested projects will actually come to reality and actually get built. The developers right now are scouting out multiple sites, knowing that the grid connections can take years and permitting can derail projects. But right away, here's something I don't understand. If they have all this money to build these AI data centers, these companies have billions of dollars essentially, why can't they be self-sustaining? Why do they even have to be hooked up to the grid? Why can't they just be run completely off of solar? What happened to the clean energy dream, man? Everybody's supposed to be living off of clean energy, right? Well, how come these data centers can't do that? Sounds like to me they probably can't due to the sheer amount of power they actually use. But it's also not right. The surrounding residents and businesses that are currently hooked up to the grid have to pay larger electric bills due to the possibility of an AI data center entering the area. Any sort of increase should fall on them. These companies are making tons of profits. Why should everybody else have to subsidize their profits? You guys want to make the request for electricity? You pay for all the extra infrastructure upgrades. Why that's not happening, I have no idea. But this is a real struggle that people are facing right now. Just another thing that's making living more expensive and owning a home more expensive than ever right now. And even if AI is not increasing your electric bill just yet, one thing it is doing is it's exposing just how weak our economy actually is.